Pat Gray is here. On the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for noticing, and thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393, Pat Unleashed on Twitter. How many years have we waited for this Jeffrey Epstein thing? It's been... when did he first go to prison and then get killed by the Clintons? When did that happen?
2019, I believe.
Yeah, was it? Yeah. 4 years ago now? Almost 5? Man.
But, I mean, this has been rumbled around forever.
Did I say and then get killed by the Clinton? No, I was thinking of something else. I mean the suicide he committed, in a place where nobody had committed suicide in 45 years because it was virtually impossible with all the fail-safes. So, I mean, just wild coincidence.
Slip of the tongue.
One after another. Just really a shame. But his court documents were released last night, some of them. More will be released today. So, do you remember, I don't know, we played this, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It's from ABC News and Amy Robach. And it was just the time when information about Epstein started to become public knowledge. And here's Amy Robach off camera.
Yeah, showing how the mainstream media was protecting elites.
Yeah.
No surprise.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story.
Oh.
And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything.
Yeah.
I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day where we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago.
Wow. Did she get fired?
Oh, she's the one that had the affair with the morning anchor or something.
Oh, right. And they left.
Yeah, I don't know what
or got fired, I think, because they were having a relationship.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Chris, you probably know this, right? Dershowitz, Virginia Roberts went back later and said she was mistaken with him. Is that right?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, okay.
But this new file says, it was dropped yesterday, says that he had sexual relationships with a minor.
But hold on. But this was the court record before she went back later and said.
Yeah. But they're still using it as like if he did it.
I see. I don't know. What a mess.
Tomorrow we're going to have Hillary Kennedy in here to go through all of this. She's been following it pretty closely for a while. And once we get the rest of the information, things will hopefully become a little clearer. But there weren't a lot of surprises last night. It's just a bunch of names we've already heard pretty much. Bill Clinton is in there, I think, 50 sometimes. Donald Trump is mentioned. But he's talked about that before.
Yeah.
He had a relationship. They had a falling out, and he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago not to ever come back 15 years ago.
Yeah, and then the dark documents show that conversation did happen over the whole thing of Epstein came up, and then he was like, no. And then even the alleged, the victims, not alleged, but the victims said, no, Donald Trump had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, the Trump mention was Epstein wanted him to go to a casino with him. That was,
he was like,
the only thing that was mentioned. And in fact, I think this tweet from General Flynn speaks volumes. Trump never on Epstein Island or in Epstein's homes, fully exonerated, receives an FBI raid, 91 felony charges. Clinton, quote, liked his girls young and visited Epstein Island more than 25 times. No FBI raid, 0 charges. And don't forget, the FBI raided days after Epstein committed suicide. They went to his home and they confiscated all of these tapes and records. They still have this stuff. You think it's locked away in a vault somewhere and nobody knows what's on there? No, the FBI is using those, and they have been for years to their advantage. The information and the images and whatever is contained on those tapes. I guarantee you they're using it in nefarious ways.
A couple other names that you know. Prince Andrew, of course, talked about that. David Copperfield, though, I hadn't heard that one before.
Yeah, described as Epstein's friend.
Yeah, his friend. He came and did magic tricks at dinner for the kids. That's all. The victim kids. In fact, one of the victims was at this dinner, apparently, and he asked her, hey, do you know that some of these girls are paid to recruit other girls? Okay. Interesting that he knew that, apparently. Michael Jackson was mentioned. Okay.
That didn't surprise me, though.
Well, he let the children, let the 12-year-old boy children. Oh! Speaking of David Copperfield, just as kind of an aside, this has nothing to do with it.
Oh.
Did you see he's going to make the moon disappear this year?
Cool.
Sometime during the course of the year.
Wait.
David Copperfield will make the moon disappear.
Isn't that called a new moon?
I don't know what he's really going to pull. He said it's taken him 30 years.
30 years to figure it out.
To develop the way he's going to make the moon disappear. I love the article because they pointed out that, you know, if successful, it could kill billions of people on this earth.
Oh, my gosh.
As if there's a chance he's going to actually pull it off.
Are we doing this?
This guy might eliminate the moon from its orbit.
So hold on a second. Hold on. David Copperfield.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's made the Statue of Liberty disappear. Hello.
Right, that's right.
He's going to make the moon disappear. But he couldn't get his name to disappear off of the Epstein documents?
Yeah, that's a pretty good point.
I think I would be a little self-serving in my magician abilities if I were
all
him.
you need for that is an eraser, I would
White
think.
out or
White out, yeah.
Some roofies.
Doesn't
so
take
no
30 years to plan that.
Gosh. Okay.
I will say, if he can make the moon disappear, and I go outside and I look up on a clear night and there's no moon, that's going to be chilling. I'm looking forward to him pulling that off. Did you ever see the thing? It was a long time ago. It was like almost 40 years ago now. But in 1984, he supposedly, at the beginning of one of his specials, floated out over the Grand Canyon.
Oh, whoa. Sounds serious.
You seen that?
No.
Yeah.
Chris Angel did it too.
Should look at the what?
Chris Angel also did it.
Oh, he did? Floated out over the Grand Canyon? You should see the David Copperfield one from, look it up on YouTube. It's very, very cheesy.
So did Evel Knievel. But anyway.
I don't know if he floated.
I know. Kind of.
But what a rocket launch that was. Went about 10 feet and then crashed.
Hey, before we get too far away from the moon disappearing and David Copperfield, don't forget, we're closing in on April 8th. The total eclipse. It's coming right over DFW.
Oh. April 8th?
April 8th.
Okay. Huh.
You're getting ready for that, right?
I'm getting
You're excited.
ready.
It's going to be total darkness in the middle of the day.
Wow.
I think early afternoon.
Okay.
I'm excited for it.
You know, I stood there and stared at it in Utah the last time it happened up there, which was what? What was that? Like September? I think it was September.
October.
Uh-huh. Okay. You know, it's cool for a minute, but 20 minutes worth of looking at it, gaping at the sun. Look. Well, you can't directly look. It'll burn your retinas out of your head. But kind of peek through a little hole that we're creating or special glasses, and it's going to be really just stand here like a dope for an hour and a half.
It's just so you know, it's going to be going diagonal from DFW up through just south of St. Louis.
Oh.
Over Indianapolis.
Okay, so it's Cleveland, a Midwest kind of thing.
Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun.
Okay. All right. KJP making the rounds this week. She's trying to make Americans think Joe Biden is doing a good job as president of the United States. No, he is. She's going to explain it.
I'm hearing doubt coming from you.
No, I just haven't heard her solidify it all in my mind yet. I'm sure that's the last thing I need to hear to really drive it home for me. But before we get to her most recent clips, here she was last week talking about job creation.
Over 14 million jobs have been created under President Biden.
Can't
That's
stand that.
every job lost in the pandemic, plus almost 15 million more jobs.
Are you hearing this?
Wait, what?
Now they're like doubling down, literally.
They're claiming 29 million now?
What world are they in? I'm looking at a chart right now. I should have sent this in.
Wow.
They haven't even recovered the pandemic lost jobs.
No, she just said, not only have they gotten every single job from the pandemic is back, and another 15 million on top of that.
These people,
oh my God,
have no
lies. Wow.
Look at this. This is the, I don't know if this is going to show up, civilian labor force participation rate. That's where we were when the pandemic hit. So if you draw that line over there, this is where we're at now. We haven't even gotten back to that line.
Wow. Wow.
These people are.
Play that one more time. Because this needs to be driven home in the minds of the American people. What kind of flat-out liars they are. Listen to this.
Over 14 million jobs have been created under President Biden. That's every job lost in the pandemic, plus almost 15 million more jobs.
Have they backed off that? Have they backtracked? Have they corrected that? You can't claim 29 million jobs now. Wow. That's incredible. And she's telling us that it's only a matter of time before we feel the incredible benefits of Bidenomics. Just a matter of time.
How do you explain the groups that have supported Joe Biden for so long, Democrats for so long, now kind of looking around, actually, and among young voters, too, not just that they're looking at Donald Trump, but they're looking at other choices. How do you explain them sort of straying from this president, from the Democratic Party?
Yeah, when he's done such
so
a great job.
I'm going to be super mindful of 2024 as we're into an election year. Look, we understand what the American people went through these past 3 years, right? We came out of a pandemic, right? A pandemic that we haven't seen in 100 years. And when the president walked in, the economy was upside down. And so we get it. We get that it's going to take a little bit of time for folks to feel what the Bidenomics has been able to do. That's not something that I'm saying. That's something that economists have said, right? It takes a little bit of time. But it doesn't mean that the president's not going to continue to work.
I felt the hot poke in my eye from a sharp stick of Bidenomics. I did feel that. I'm still feeling that. I will say gas prices are down quite a bit in Texas. They're still not at the Trump level.
No, sir.
But they are down. And I don't know if that's going to continue. They're artificially trying to do all of this stuff because they're heading into an election year. And he's been getting bludgeoned with the fact that even Democrats understand they're not doing as well now as they were under Trump. They know it, they feel it, and you can't tell them differently. Hopefully they're not that stupid, even Democrats, that, you're struggling and you're paying much more for groceries and gas and just your cost of living is incredibly
it's just a
high.
matter of time before you feel the benefits of Bidenomics.
It's coming right on up.
Just hang in there.
Jeez.
Stuff.
I'd say it'll kick in about late October, and they'll start claiming all sorts of victories.
It's not stopping them from doing that already.
That's true. 29 million jobs. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah,
right?
I was surprised. I went back and I found where I originally found that clip. I'm surprised there wasn't a community notes fact check on Twitter from that.
Man.
That's rough.
And this administration is going to keep you focusing on Bidenomics until you understand finally how great things are.
Okay.
You're just not getting it. They're going to drum it into your head, though.
And so we're hoping what we want to do is continue to focus on Bidenomics and continue on lowering costs and prices for the American people. Look, the president, after coming out of the State of the Union, he talked about finishing up the job, right?
Oh, gosh, please don't. You've done enough damage. No, don't finish the job. Leave us with a pulse, please. So, that's interesting. She's pushing the phrase Bidenomics.
Yeah, she is.
Because they stopped. They were very hot and heavy with it in the spring and summer. Then there were about 3 months where they just didn't even mention it in any White House official press conference or transcript or anything like that. It's interesting now that they're back to pushing that specific phrase.
Lying sacks. And she explained how successful the Biden administration has been already.
Okay.
So look, you know, I want to take a step back for just a moment as we look at 24, and we're in 24. But just a step back, you know, this president has done more in 3 years than any other president has done in 2 terms, and that is important.
To destroy the country, that's true.
That's actually a fact.
That is important.
She told the truth.
He's done more to destroy this country than any other president has ever done in their entire term, including Barack Obama. And that's saying something. In the middle of the terrible border crisis that everybody knows about, even people in the Northeast now are starting to understand.
How's that taste, Eric Adams?
Yeah, they don't like the taste at all. They're trying to spit it out of their mouth. So this, of course, has been caused and made so much worse. I mean, the border situation has not been good for 70 years. But they've made it so much worse. And that's why we get a record-breaking total every single month of illegals crossing the border. So KJP was asked if Biden still has confidence in his Homeland Security Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas.
Thanks, Green. A House committee is moving ahead with impeachment proceedings against Secretary Mayorkas. There's a hearing scheduled for next week. So I'd just like to get the White House response. And also, just to clarify, does the president still have confidence in the secretary?
Absolutely, the president has confidence in the secretary.
Of course. He's done a
I've said this
job.
moments ago. I said it at the top as well. We believe that what they're doing, the House Republicans are doing with this impeachment inquiry is baseless. We believe that it's a political stunt.
So look.
And we believe there's
it's not a real
no
sentence if she doesn't say so look.
There are things that the American people want us to get done, and that's what they should focus on. And you know, it is unfortunate that this is where the House Republicans, that's the road that they want to go down with this impeachment proceeding. That is really unfortunate when the American people have been very clear. They want us to see it. They want us to work in a bipartisan way to get things done for them, and that's what the president wants.
We've been pretty clear about the fact that we do want him to proceed with impeachment, and not only do the investigation, but actually impeach him.
Well,
and then send it to the Senate where he's removed from office, convicted and removed.
That'd be a good bipartisan effort.
That would be great.
But yeah, the Mayorkas, his impeachment proceedings begin on Wednesday, so that'll be interesting to follow as well.
Okay. He explained who's really at fault for the border.
I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, and of course the border. The border is
secure.
Secure. And here's what else.
Let me identify one fundamental problem here, and that is the fact that we have one governor,
and he's crying,
in the state of Texas who is refusing to cooperate with other governors and other local officials and coordinate efforts to address a challenge that our country, which this country should stand united to address, that our country is facing. And it's a remarkable failure of governance to refuse to cooperate with one's fellow local and state officials.
Wow.
Wow.
What is he supposed to be doing on your behalf?
All he's
doing, what do you want him to do?
Is enforcing the law that you've abdicated responsibility for.
Right.
The federal government should be doing it.
Job. It's their job.
Madness.
And they insist on not doing it. They don't want anybody else to do it, and then they refuse to do it. Wow.
It's madness.
Oh, my gosh.
I thought the best quote over Christmas break was from Congressman Corey Mills, who said, quote, "If we can't protect the American people, then we should at least try and save them some money if Congress isn't going to do their job. In other words, let's shut down the government if we're not going to shut down the border." Absolutely. Please.
Oh, did you see, by the way, speaking of budgets and Congress, you saw where the debt wound up this week, right? $34 trillion.
I did.
That's 3 months after we hit $33 trillion for the first time ever. So in 3 months, it went from 33 to 34 trillion. 3 months. Again, keep in mind, just for perspective on this particular issue, from George Washington to Ronald Reagan, it took that long to incur $1 trillion in debt for this country. We weren't $1 trillion in debt until Ronald Reagan. From the start of the nation with George Washington to Ronald Reagan. Wow. And then in 3 months, we just did another trillion on top of the other 33.
So 200 years to get $1 trillion in debt.
Yep. 3 months now.
And we tripled that trillion in 3 months. I mean,
it's incredible.
Why do we have a government? What's the point?
Incredible.
I don't understand.
We have a government so they can destroy this nation. That's what they're setting out to do, and they're doing a really good job of it. And lying every step of the way.
You know, I put a Twitter poll up yesterday at Keith Malinak, and I want to see how you would vote on this. I asked, as 2024 plays out, our nation will end up closer to, and the two options are total collapse or total restoration. Pat, what say you? As 2024 plays out, our nation will end up closer to total collapse or total restoration?
Gosh, is it 90%? It's total collapse?
86-14 total collapse.
I figured. Jeez. But this will give you hope because
give me some
Mayorkas had more yesterday about the border.
Good.
It's a backlog of some 3 million cases of asylum seekers who are allowed to come into the United States, remain in the United States while they wait for their trial, which in most cases will be years from now. Just not enough judges to process that. What do you do about that, number one? And number two, is it a good idea to let the asylum seekers be in the United States while they wait a trial, or should they remain where they are?
So that backlog is a powerful example of how broken our immigration system is and for how long it has been broken.
Yeah, it's
because
not their
that
fault.
Backlog existed when I was in the Department of Homeland Security in 2009. It preceded me then, and it precedes me now in my tenure as a Secretary of Homeland Security. That 3 million case backlog has been building for years and years and years. It got much, much worse when U.S. Citizenship and Immigration System Services, the agency within the Department of Homeland Security that administers our legal immigration system, was financially gutted during the prior administration.
Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh.
He is all over the map.
Right.
He is all over the map. He says it was gutted by the previous administration, but he just got done saying under Obama it was broken.
Right.
What the hell, man? I mean,
I know.
But it's the same guy who says it's Abbott's fault. But again, it was also messed up in 2009.
But the border is secure.
Exactly. All over the freaking map. This guy, impeach him January 10th.
Please.
Grab your popcorn.
Meanwhile, House Republicans visited the southern border. Several illegals crossed the Rio Grande.
Oh, yeah.
Behind Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Chris, did you send that video in?
I did.
Before we get to that video, before we get to the Gates video, you got to see this.
Yeah, check this out.
All right.
Go for it, Joe.
This is the, which video?
25.
Watch this. So there you go. Johnson is talking to the press, and there's your visual aid as you're speaking.
How perfect is that? How perfect is that? It's happening, well, because it's almost impossible for it not to happen when you're filming at the border.
Right.
There's so many people. 302,000 illegals crossed last month alone.
Right. And look at that guy. The guy's recording. Hey, look, I'm welcome to America. So you saw the razor wire. That's what the state of Texas put up. So this video that you're about to play from Matt Gaetz is showing your wonderful Border Patrol agents removing said razor wire from Texas.
Okay.
It's infuriating. Look at, I mean, it's an invasion. I mean, there's no other word.
It is. Yep.
So here you go. There's a federal agents taking care of. Let's make an entrance here for you. Let's get rid of this Texas razor wire.
Yeah, we don't want to hamper anybody's illegal entry into the country.
Hey, y'all don't need to keep going down there. Come right here.
Come on up.
Right here, yeah.
Come on up.
There we go. That's a good...
In fact, we're going to build stairs for you because this is just...
Dude, don't give them ideas. I swear.
Inconvenient that you got to hike up a 4-foot hill.
I mean...
We can't have that.
Well, you got to put handrails, too.
Right, well, yes.
Because you don't want...
On both sides.
Thank you. And you also need a wheelchair accessible... I don't want to hear wheelchairs aren't emerging from the Rio Grande. Yeah. They better be there. They better match OSHA standards.
In fact, stairs aren't adequate.
Right.
It needs to be an escalator.
Thank you.
They need to put an escalator right there.
Yeah, the People with Disabilities Act needs to be enforced at the southern border, and I mean now. Y'all need to be patient. Y'all stop waiting all the way over there. Just chill for a moment and let your federal agents open the door for you.
Yeah. You know what they should be doing is carrying them up the hill. They've had a hard walk from Honduras. It's a long way. They should be carried the rest of the way.
So wait, hold on.
Where are the cookies and the snacks?
Are you seeing? This is government work.
Yeah.
At its finest.
Oh, there's a kid.
Got these morons opening this area of the razor wire when just 15 feet to their right, they've already done that. We need 2 entrances here? I swear.
Well, yeah, that'll speed the process.
Where's the red carpet, though?
Where is
the red carpet?
The snacks?
It's in that bag.
Snacks are not adequate.
Oh, they're not?
Chris, now that I think of it, they need a full
chef,
7-course meal.
Full-on chef, on call.
Catered.
The biggest decision these illegals are having to make that day are, do I walk another 15 feet to the left where they've already cut the wire, or should I just wait for these guys to open it up right here?
You try to make that decision. That's a tough one.
You know, I'm thinking of going down there to open a food truck. Okay. You know how many tacos I can sell as they come in?
Sell? You bigot. You hater.
Oh.
You mean you need to provide these for these wonderful people who have taken the time to break into our country illegally.
So I sell it to the government.
Well, okay, you could sell it to the government.
And then as an NGO.
Right. And then they're handed out for free to the illegals. Okay.
I'm not making it through 2024 without an aneurysm on the air.
Ratings.
It just gets worse every day. Every single day.
It's just we're not a country, Pat.
But then what do you do? Okay, so like we known that the illegal problem. Look, I'm here, right? So we have a problem in the border. I came in, but at the same time,
how do you like it here?
I love it. Right. I love it.
You be a good employee, and I won't call INS on you.
Thank you. But like, how do you stop it? Because I feel like what we're trying to do is put a duct tape on a broken pipeline while the main is still open.
Well, you have to first of all you have to have the will, and this administration doesn't.
Can I just say
they don't.
Let me please say this is convenient and accurate as it is to blame Joe Biden and this Marxist administration for trying unsuccessfully to destroy this nation. As convenient as that is, every time you see this invasion at the border, every time you see federal agents cutting razor wire, just remember, it's the Republican Party who didn't pass a law and get this wall built when Trump wanted to. So Trump had to sign an executive order. And what happened literally on January 20th, 2021? It got undone by Joe Biden and his band of Marxists. That's why this is happening right now.
If our government had the will, and obviously, again, they don't, but you could stop this problem almost immediately. You put, if you need to, you put the U.S. military at the border. That's what you do. And you make sure that while the wall is being built, you've got that thing secured with troops or 100,000 more border agents. Whichever way you want to go, if you want to start screaming, posse comitatus, which doesn't apply anyway because they're not dealing with American citizens crossing the border illegally. They're dealing with other people.
Oh, by the way, this is called the Poverty Exodus. This is 15,000 individuals from where? Southern Mexico who have begun the trek northward.
Gosh.
But that's not an invasion headed this way.
So the administration has to absolutely tell them to stop and mean it, which they never have done.
Yep.
Because they don't mean it. Don't come. Don't come. That wasn't sufficient from Kamala Harris because their actions have been ollie, ollie, all come free. And they are. But if we had the will, you're never going to stop 100% of illegals from crossing, but you could cut it by, 90%. 888-900-3393. More coming up.
Ain't seen nothing yet.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome, 888-900-3393, joined by Glenn Beck.
Hey.
I just wanted to stop by because I wanted to say congratulations to Keith on his first film role. I didn't expect it. You're so modest. I didn't even...
What is happening?
Yeah, I didn't know about it.
You didn't know about it, right?
I didn't know about it.
Okay. It's the Seven Fishes or the Night of the Seven Fishes or something.
Feast of the Seven
What is
Fishes.
it? When did you make this?
I have no idea what's happening right now.
Oh, this
He's
is
just
a big.
so modest.
He's so modest.
Yeah.
Do we have a clip? I want you to watch this clip.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, think about the feast. Well, we make that larger than life because on Christmas Eve in this town, everybody is Italian or thinks they are. I mean, do most people even know why they do it? Really? No, it doesn't matter. They just know that they have to do it. It's like we got one foot in America in the present and another in Europe in the past, and we obsess on all of it.
You obsess, Jew. The rest of us really don't give a...
Not true. I think I get what he's saying. We really do have, what do you call it?
Oral tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like how folks always say you can never find a girlfriend for Christmas.
You know, you'll find out as you get older just how seriously bad it is not to have somebody.
I mean,
share
is
Christmas
that not
with.
an incredible performance? And he plays a big role. You should have brought this up.
I had to shave for that role.
Yeah. But
that's almost the exact same hat you're wearing right now.
Yeah, and almost the same character where he looks at you like he's talking about something that everybody should be excited about. He's like, you know what's really happening. You know what's really happening. And then people talk, and then he just kind of looks down like, I'm alone. I'm completely alone.
You know that feeling?
This is 100%. I know that feeling. And in fact, we were talking earlier how, like, back when you were on Fox, right? You used to say you're going to have friends that are going to be like, hey, when did all this crazy stuff happen? It's happening now. Pay attention, man.
Didn't we just do this?
Yes.
Was this take two for another film? Or
Well, we didn't do it on the air.
Yeah.
And so, yes.
We didn't do it on the air.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You try to walk someone in. See, I'm obviously a trained actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was a tremendous performance.
What is that from?
Do
you
Night
know?
of the Seven Fishes?
Feast of the Seven Fishes.
Feast of the Seven Fishes.
Is it new?
It's brand new.
Yeah, brand new. Netflix.
Really quite good.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, like you said.
Yeah,
I just know that the checks keep coming in from the union, and I'm happy
Wow,
to
and you
cash
don't even
them.
remember the name of the movie you did.
Yeah, it just came out. I watched it over the holiday on Netflix. It takes place in the 1980s in this small little town. You'll love it.
Yeah.
That. And Keith is all the way through it.
I'm good at it,
He's all the way. And it's like
What's the actor's name?
they modeled the character on Keith.
I love it. What's the actor's name, though?
Keith Malinak.
Don't be coy.
Nice.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Take credit for it now. So tell me about the AI thing that you were talking about off the air. Can you do that, or are you saving it?
Well, no, I'm researching it now, so I want to make sure I have everything. I do have the video of it. It is shocking. Guy walks out on stage and he's talking about the future of AI and how dangerous it is and how it's being weaponized. Mm-hmm. And he walks out and he has in his hand a little piece of technology. It's about the size of a dragonfly. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a little drone, and he just kind of pitches it with his hand. It takes off, and then it on the screen behind him, it shows what it's sending back, and it's a video of his face with the little box in it. Okay, and he moves, and the drone moves, and it's 4 times faster than human reaction. Okay,
how is that possible?
I know,
that's incredible,
and it's in it's the size of a dragonfly. Okay, and it's flying up. And every time he moves, it moves to make sure it's got his face right center in the target. And then he calls it back, lands in his hand, and he says, now, This also has, and I don't remember how much it was, 3 grams of explosives in it.
Oh, boy.
Okay? And he said, this is what this is made to do. He's got a mannequin with another face now that is programmed into this dragonfly to track. And he takes it and he throws it out over the audience, and it goes up faster than you can see it. And it goes right to the center of the forehead of that mannequin and blows a hole through the head.
Oh my gosh.
It's enough.
Wow.
It's just enough explosive to make impact with the forehead and completely obliterate everything in the head.
At least our government is noble and
Yeah, they're
would never
benevolent.
use anything
and
like
they,
that.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Bad
You
word.
never have to worry about that kind of thing. Are we sure it's accurate?
Yeah,
Are we
yeah.
sure it's not made up?
No, I'm sure it's not made up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
I'm looking forward to the
incredible.
future. It's going to be fun.
The drone technology is really, really amazing right now. Did you see the New Year's Eve celebration for downtown Dallas?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
I'm sure they did this in a bunch of different places.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They must have had 1,000 drones up there.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Showing characters,
No, I
spelling
know.
out things. And it changes almost instantly. It's incredible.
It's the 4th of July
incredible.
thing I've wanted to do for 10 years.
Yeah,
and
right.
I haven't had
That's-
the money to
that's
do
very
it.
true.
You know, it's amazing technology.
It
It's
is.
Did you see the
So
Chinese?
now all those can blow up in people's heads.
Cool.
That's great to know, too.
Yeah,
That's good news.
Good. Yeah, blow your
Good
mind.
news.
Come on, it'll blow your mind. First 1,000 people, come in. It'll blow your mind. Did you see the Chinese fireworks?
No.
I've never seen anything like it. It must have been, it was a shoreline, must have been a mile and a half of fireworks for a mile and a half all across the horizon.
Cool.
And they were enormous.
Good. The more money they spend on that, the less they can spend at Wuhan.
Enormous. It was absolutely. I watched that and I thought, this is the way the rest of the world must have looked at us in the 1950s and 60s.
Yeah, for sure. A little chilling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
a little bit.
It's weird
concerning
to live in a time, and it's happened over and over again in a failing empire.
Yeah, let's ask Glenn my poll question from Twitter yesterday. As 2024 plays out, our nation will end up closer to total collapse or total restoration. Glenn, what say you?
You don't even have to ask that question. Everybody knows his answer. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. In fact, on your show when I filled
Jesus
in
is coming.
for Stu. Yeah, it can only pretty much get worse, I think, before it gets better.
Yeah, because nobody woke up.
Right.
Not enough people have woken up.
Not enough people.
You know, and I feel, at what point is this long train of usurpations intolerable?
Don't ask me that on the air.
Well, I didn't. You should go back to acting.
Wait, what?
But,
Josh Hellman is my stage name, by the way.
Okay.
We looked that up.
If they do what they're planning to do to Donald Trump, did you see Michelle Bachmann? Michelle Bachmann said, and I don't know anything about this. I mean, everything is changing so rapidly.
So fast.
Did you see my show last night? Wednesday?
No.
Watch it. And then go to glennbeck.com and get all of the documents. And you need to talk about this, Pat. This is the year they are going to assassinate freedom of speech. Okay?
Oh.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And the things that are being done on a global scale right now, the UN is passing bills, writing bills and passing them in countries all over the world to usurp the U.S. Constitution. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they have a training program here in America for our judges and our lawyers to understand that international law actually usurps the United States law.
Oh, my.
So this morning,
Wow.
Michelle Bachmann, I saw a talk with Michelle Bachmann where she said, as of January 1st this year, okay, 2024, just a few days ago, Americans have to start applying for visas to go to certain countries. Now, it's happening, it's in effect now, but it takes full effect, I think she said in May, to where you now need permission to travel overseas.
What?
I have not heard about it. I just got
either.
it from her. We have to research it. But that is,
wow.
If that is true, you know, you're in CBDC land. You're in IDs, you know, national IDs, which will be global IDs. You have the cut down of travel. I'm telling you, and it may be as early as this year. When it happens, where you are is where you will be.
Period. And
That
you can't go
feels
anywhere.
Like COVID lockdown time.
You know,
feels like Agenda.
That also
21.
feels like the Book of Revelation, where you can't participate in commerce, you can't travel, you can't.
This is the Book of Revelation. I'm convinced.
Wow.
I'm not convinced. I'm highly optimistic that the Lord is coming.
No, he's definitely coming.
Yeah,
you
but
just
I mean,
think it's this year? Do you?
No.
Really?
I don't think it's this year. I think it's in the next 7 to 10.
Yeah.
We're definitely no longer.
We're not in tribulation yet.
Shining city on the hill. That may be the Netherlands or Argentina or Portugal soon enough, because it ain't us.
Well, I tell you, the way Argentina is going.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But how are you going to the trap is the global connectiveness. There's a new word that I just read about this morning that they're using, interoperability. That's key. Interoperability. So you can have your driver's license, but it really needs to have interoperability with all of the other countries in the world.
How about if we just meet you in Idaho about this time tomorrow afternoon?
Okay,
because
if my daughter was out of school, we'd be gone.
Really, already?
Yeah, we'd be gone.
Yeah.
Now, because we're, a little ahead of the curve. But when you hear me say on the air, I'm moving to Idaho, batten down the hatches. Now, I'm always wrong on timing.
Yeah.
Always wrong on timing.
You going to cover moving expenses for Blaze employees to follow you up there?
No, already did that here. I said at the time, I bet on 2 states,
Worth a shot.
Texas and Idaho.
Yeah.
And Texas is not going to be Texas much
Idaho
longer.
seems to be holding up. I mean, people are
except you have the northern Idaho. Yeah, they are. They are. And much more conservative.
Boise
the Californians that are moving into Idaho.
Boise's getting ruined every day.
Every day. The Californians that are moving into Idaho are more conservative than the conservatives that grew up in Idaho.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that, you've researched that? Is that true?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's pretty remarkable.
Boy, the traffic in Boise is no longer.
That's going to be fun.
You can just tell when you pass through, man.
No, Boise and the state government, they've captured it.
Yeah.
I mean, the governor is awful. Absolutely awful.
My brother went to Boise State in the 70s, and I think it was a town of, 70,000.
Yeah.
It's 800,000 now.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Boise
a totally
metro
different
area.
place. And you know what? What's crazy is when I went up and I talked to the Republicans up there, several members of the House were all standing there, and they said, why'd you pick Idaho? And I said, I'm counting on Idaho to stand. I'm counting on Idaho to revere the Constitution and the American way of life.
Somebody's got to.
And they said, are you going to move up here? And I said, eventually, yeah. And this is their quote. Great. We can't wait to add you to our tax base.
Oh, bro.
I said, are you?
What in the world? Welcome to our state.
Welcome to Idaho.
Are you for real?
Yeah. We can't wait to welcome you into our tax base. Oh my gosh. That's your Republican.
What is happening in red states, and they're having to deal with it community by community. I just read an article over the break about Eagle, Idaho, a suburb of Boise, where they're having a mayoral race, and it's the California Republican is running there. It's like, no. You don't understand. We don't want a California Republican running things here.
You might. You have to weigh them out. But I know in my town, like none of the real estate agents that'll call, people call, hey, are there any housing available? Well, let me look. What's your name? Yeah. Where are you from? California. No, there's nothing available.
Yeah.
Not a darn thing.
That's why I keep my South Carolina area code on my phone.
Yeah. That's why we need a wall on Texas's western border as well to keep the Californians out.
I told Rick Perry.
Wow.
2000. When did we move here? 2011.
12.
Yeah, 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down to Rick Perry's office, and I said, he said, well, you're finally here. And I said, I got here as soon as I could. The old joke the Texans always tell. Got here as soon as I could. And he said, great. And I said, listen, I am very concerned about the wall. We need to build a wall. This is 2012. And he said, I know. It's crazy. And I said, no, I mean the western, northern, and eastern wall, as well as the south. I said, now that I'm here, we don't want any more New Yorkers here. We don't want any more Californians.
Your best idea when we moved here that was never put into fruition here is that at the beginning of, I remember you saying this, at the beginning of movies, right?
Yeah.
You need to have like a welcome to Texas. This is why it's so great. Now, don't ruin it and make it like the place you just ran from. I think of that every time I go and see a movie.
I know.
Where is that? Because
I know that's what the state should have done.
Yeah.
Should have done a little history. Just a 60-second, hey, before you get your popcorn, here comes the movie. Silence your phones. By the way, Texas is great because our government is small and ineffective.
Yeah, and you moved here for a reason, right?
Yeah, you moved here because your state was crappy. Don't wreck this one with the same kind of voting.
But every time.
I know.
That's what they do.
I know.
Every time. All right.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
congratulations. I hope.
Thank you.
I know the Oscar nominations.
No. Bro, I've already got a star waiting for me on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Wow, good for you.
Nice.
Good for you. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Appreciate that.
All right. Coming up in a minute, we've got some more absolutely depressing Armageddon news for you.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the immigration issues, obviously, on our southern border. Europe has their own issues as well.
Yeah.
It's by design. This is the World Economic Forum. Destroy the Western world.
Also, 6 days from now, we got the Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis debate coming up. And interestingly, Nikki Haley has moved into second place nationally. We'll talk about that as well coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And we got some tweets for you. B. DeBodine tweets, is David Copperfield going to lasso the moon and pull it down and give it to some chick named Mary?
Oh, no.
Hey, Mary, you want the moon? I'll lasso it and pull it down for you. That's what I'll do. Speaking of David Copperfield, we were talking about him floating over the Grand Canyon,
which is
back
fantastic.
in 1984. It's brilliant.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. Here's a little look at it. What a special treat this is.
Oh, no, not this song. Can we kill the audio?
Look at, he just levitated. Holy cow. Yeah, because otherwise.
Oh, my gosh. Look at this guy. He's all floating and whatnot.
Turn down the audio if you can.
Oh, boy.
There you go.
How
a little bit more.
Fun is this, huh?
We don't lose it on YouTube.
Look at that.
But look, okay, so he goes through the ring there because that shows you there's no wires connected to him at all.
Got it.
Not a single wire.
Oh, it's windy.
Look at, and then he just went through another one, and then.
Oh, wait. What?
You don't suppose he's being dangled from a helicopter there, do you?
No, because the thing came right through. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, help! I don't. Wait, can we pan up? I mean, are they ever going to pan way up?
No.
Wait, I want to see.
No, they're not,
what's
because that would
way up.
expose the helicopter. But there he is, concentrating so much, he's able to fly
Looks like he's
over the Grand Canyon.
Thinking about Epstein Island or something. What's... Oh, no!
And then there's Bonnie Tyler. We need a hero.
That's my favorite part.
That
when
is
she
the
comes
best part.
When she comes in.
Oh.
That's my best. That's the best part.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yeah, but see, he showed us that there was nothing there.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
So how do you explain that one?
I can't. It's magic. He's magic.
Again, he can fly over the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
He can make the Statue of Liberty disappear. Coming up soon,
he's going to make the moon disappear.
But yet he can't make his name disappear off of court documents connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. Interesting.
Makes sense. Snarky Parky tweets, the clouds are pretty good at hiding the moon. Yeah, the clouds do that, actually, don't they?
Maybe that's what he's going to do.
Is he going to make clouds?
He's waiting for the forecast to come out. And if the weathermen get it wrong, he's going to be pissed.
But how do you make the moon disappear for everybody across the country? That's what I...
Oh, is that the whole thing?
I think so, yeah. I think he's... Yeah.
Okay, again, it's called...
So you'll go outside and you won't see the moon.
It doesn't matter where you're at.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Again, it's called the new moon.
Or it's called daytime.
Or it's called...
Maybe that's how he's going to hide it.
Lunar
Look,
eclipse?
I'm doing this at 3 o'clock.
Which one is it? Is it lunar eclipse or
This
solar
afternoon.
eclipse? Which one
I
is
don't
the-
know. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how he pulls that off. RJeff74. Wait. If he makes the moon disappear, what will Jeffy get stuck on?
Oh, no.
Or between, the moon and New York City. That's a good point. I don't know.
Look at that. See, we got the
Yeah,
the deal,
there he is, right there.
Right there.
Stuck. From Tamika Baird, KJP got our statistics mixed up. That 29 million was illegals that will need jobs by the time this administration is finally gone. Yeah, that's not going to do it because we've got another 15,000 in a caravan is on the way.
There they are.
And look at them. Look at that stream of humanity.
Coming here for a better life.
Headed to Texas or Arizona, maybe California.
No. Boston is going to be their
I wish.
endpoint.
That's where they need to send them. The Banana Republic of America tweets, we need ferries to help people cross the Rio Grande.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do. We need
not only the stairwells and the handrails,
absolutely,
the escalators, the red carpet. Got to get the ferry.
Obviously, we've got some issues with our immigration policies and our immigration crisis in America. But European countries are having their own problems in that regard as well. British Prime Minister talked about the fate of Great Britain under the strain of refugees coming into his country.
And our enemies will also see that we are unable to deal with this, and then they will so increasingly use migration as a weapon, deliberately driving people to our shores to try to destabilize our societies.
Right.
So if we do not tackle this problem, the numbers will only grow. It will overwhelm our countries and our capacity to help those who actually need our help the most. The cost of accommodating these people will anger our citizens who won't understand why their money should have to be spent on dealing with the consequences of this evil trade. It will destroy the public's faith, not just in us as politicians, but in our very systems of government.
Wow.
I mean, there you go.
Wow.
There it is.
Jeez.
That's exactly by design.
A little truth-telling there from the British Prime Minister. And in Wales, check this out. The government there is using preteen girls to encourage refugees to immigrate to their tiny country.
Shemai. Hello and welcome to Wales. We understand being a refugee isn't easy. They go through so much. Fleeing your country is difficult, but Wales wants to help you feel welcome. The Welsh Refugee Council is here to help you. You can contact them here.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Wales is seen as a nation of sanctuary. We welcome anyone and everyone. We recognise your skills and talent. The Welsh Refugee Council offers a lot to support, including
oh my god,
ESOL classes, which means English for speakers for other languages. It may be hard to learn our language, so we offer support. Employment. You may feel stressed about employment, but we can help. They help you to apply for bank accounts, child benefits, and they can help with housing. It's very important to have a warm place that you can call home. Education. Children have the right to education. Play for children.
They
We
have a
know
right.
how important it is for children to socialise. Help finding doctors. It's extremely important to have healthcare.
Not only this, but Wales offers
Wait, who edited this? 8th
There are
graders?
many job opportunities here in Wales. IKEA works closely with the Welsh Refugee Council, providing jobs for refugees that come from all over the world.
What are we?
This is just jaw dropping.
This is horrific.
Shemai.
Hello.
Broda.
Good morning.
Prinanda.
Good afternoon.
Nosta.
Good night.
Sitoiti.
How are you?
Yeah, balkanize England. That's a really
And that is why the
well,
Welsh
Wales.
Refugee Council is here to
It's a good
help.
idea. Worked out for the Balkans, right? It worked out in Yugoslavia when they broke that nation into about a dozen different countries. Bosnia, Serbia, Herzegovina,
Right.
Inagata-Davida,
Mhm.
all of them.
Mhm.
All of them.
This is obviously this.
Wow.
These all-girls school or whatever decided to make this as a project,
Mm-hmm.
but whether it's sanctioned by the government or not is irrelevant. The fact that these young people are saying, "Yep, we're all aboard on this open border thing. Y'all come here,
Indoctrination.
indoctrination." I mean, and then does anybody see the problem though of having these preteen girls saying, come on, come and infiltrate here, be an asylum seeker in our nation? I mean, have you seen some of the statistics out of Europe lately with what's happening to young women there? Whatever.
Don't worry about it.
Open borders, hold hands, kumbaya, we're fine.
That's
Whatever.
right. Mm-hmm. And if you think otherwise, you're a bigot. You're obviously a xenophobe and a hater.
This is
so we don't want to hear from you. If you don't agree with everything those two little girls said, jeez, it's incredible. It really is astounding, isn't it? 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Oh, I meant to mention on it's this month, right? We're going to do the DB Cooper thing. We decided. Is that happening now?
Do you want to change it?
No, I just thought you were talking about this month.
No, I believe this month is going to be January 6th.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to do the January 6th situation.
Yes. So in other words,
January.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We don't have the order, but we have J6 on the docket. We've got DB Cooper on the docket.
Yep.
We've got JFK on the docket. So
Yeah.
we just don't have.
I think JFK is next month, right? Don't we have those guys lined up again?
Yep.
All right. And then we want to talk DB Cooper because I just saw this documentary again, and of course it's really fresh in my mind right now. If you're unaware of the DB Cooper story, in 1971, he hijacked a plane that was going from was it going from Portland to Seattle, I think?
Yeah.
And so they landed in he handed the stewardess, I'm sorry, the flight attendant.
Thank you.
A note that said he had a bomb in his suitcase, and he had some demands, like I want $200,000 and 4 parachutes. So he landed. Well, the plane landed. He let all the other passengers off. The crew stayed. They brought the $200,000 on board for him. They gave him the 4 parachutes. They took off again for Reno, Nevada, and over who knows where in Oregon or Idaho or I don't know where he jumped out, but he parachuted out of the plane and was never found. And he got away with it, and people think it's really cool that he stole $200,000, didn't hurt anybody, and got away with it. And nobody knows who DB Cooper is. They had the FBI had 1,000 suspects, 1,000 suspects, and never made an arrest, never cracked the case. And so he's sort of, an American folklore hero, really, like Billy the Kid. Of course, Billy the Kid killed people. DB Cooper did not. And he got the $200,000. Some people think he is Canadian because there seems to be a pretty good chance that the idea for what he did came from a Canadian comic book.
Oh, I thought it was
about
because
a guy named Dan Cooper.
I thought it was a note that he handed that said,
part of it was the note.
Give
too.
me the money, eh?
Yes, but He didn't use A.
No, okay.
Surprisingly.
All right.
But he did say, I want negotiable American currency.
Oh.
Now, what American would phrase it that way?
Yeah.
A Canadian might, because they'd be concerned that they might mistakenly get $200,000 in Canadian dollars, and that's like $14.33 American. And he wanted to make sure, don't try to saddle me with any of your Canadian crap.
I look forward to this conversation.
I was chatting with the guy.
Should be fun.
That I believe he was a big part of the documentary on Netflix that you saw.
Okay.
And I love how he was telling me how the D.B. Cooper part was a typo. When the news people were doing it, they read Dan Cooper as
DB.
D period B.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and it just stuck.
That's fascinating. So he's not really D.B. Cooper.
He wasn't even D.B. Cooper.
No,
his name's probably not Dan Cooper.
Dan Cooper either, yeah.
But still, they got it wrong. And
also,
it's because of the press.
Sounds like we don't even need this interview. We're doing it now. Actually,
the guy that we're going to talk to, he sued the FBI for DNA samples. So he's really into this.
Yeah.
And he even does a Cooper Con, where all these D.B. Cooper people come every year.
That's fun.
And they talk about theories and
who they think did it and
who they
was
think
D.B. Cooper.
Yep.
Whoever he is, it's 50 years ago now, 52 years ago.
So he's still
probably
alive, right?
dead.
Oh, dead. Okay.
I would say he's probably gone. We lost him. I think we lost D.B. Cooper.
No.
Yeah, it's sad. Anyway, we'll talk to him about that. Just 2 months away. So jot that down on your calendar. All right, let me take a minute and tell you about Embrace Pet Insurance, because if you're real about this, you know that having a pet is expensive. It can get really pricey if they get hurt. But, just the natural pet food, the pet sitting when you go on vacation, the cost can skyrocket pretty fast. But one thing that's definitely worth it for your pet is pet insurance. Man, I told you about my daughter. My middle daughter had a cat that had a run-in with a little problem there she got.
It's not good.
Somebody fell on the cat, and it didn't turn out well for the cat. But you go to the vet, and you want, medical help for your pet, and it can be $5,000-$10,000. And you're thinking, am I really going to spend $10,000?
And you love your pets.
On my pet. You love them.
You want to do as much as you can for them.
You do. Also, my oldest daughter was just cutting hair of her dog, giving her a little trim.
Oh, no.
And accidentally cut off part of her ear.
Oh, God. What is it?
Pat, what are you doing with your pets?
I know.
Who raised these kids?
I know. Right? So to sew up the dog and put the ear back together, it's like thousands of dollars.
Jeez, man.
You need pet insurance.
You do.
For when these things happen. If you're a pet parent and an emergency comes up, you're going to get a bill of at least $1,000 just to say hi to the vet.
Yeah. So in other words, if you're a pet parent and a klutz, this is for you.
This is for you. So please, it's time to get. This is the perfect time, in fact, to get pet insurance. With Embrace Pet Insurance, you can visit any vet or emergency clinic, and if you have multiple pets, you're eligible for a 10% multi-pet discount. Now, some people might think pet insurance is too expensive or not needed, but believe me, when you face a huge vet bill, you're going to be really glad you got Embrace. Embrace is actually really affordable. So they also have 24/7 helpline and optional wellness rewards programs to ensure that you prioritize preventative care for your pet. So you hopefully never have to need it, but it's there if you need it. And that gives you good peace of mind. Don't wait for the unexpected to happen. Join the massive community of pet owners who trust Embrace Pet Insurance to protect their pet. So go to embracepetinsurance.com/unleashed. Embrace, EMBRACE, embracepetinsurance.com/unleashed. Do it now.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. No Alabama this year in the national championship game.
Sorry.
No Georgia either. But Alabama, I don't know if it's because of that, but 9 Alabama players entered the portal yesterday, the transfer portal, within 15 minutes.
What the heck?
Bam! 9. All of them 4- and 5-star recruits.
Hello, Lincoln is a nice place to live. Lincoln, Nebraska.
So is Provo, Utah.
Is that right? You like that, Provo?
Yeah.
Provo, Lincoln. Yeah, let's
look at Alabama's lineup.
I'll split them with you.
They have 84 commits for this next football season. Okay, 84. If you combine the last several classes, 18 of them are 5-star recruits, the highest possible. 56 are 4-star. Only 10 3-stars. 10 on their whole team. It's no wonder they win it every year. Of course, Georgia has 13 5-stars on their roster and 52 4-stars. You know, there are teams that in their entire history have never, in fact, most colleges, most universities that you see in FBS football don't have any and never have had any 5-star recruits. They've got 18 on their team right now. It's amazing. It's incredible.
And that kid, Noah Lugo from Haslett, just left to BYU 3 days ago. He texted me. He said, Chris, I'm going. I'm like,
he did?
Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. Well, here's the thing. I don't know anything about you other than the host said, hey, do you know this kid? I was like, yes, I know him. So you better keep me in the loop of what's happening with the team.
Oh, absolutely. I will.
We have a super fan in the studios. So when you come back in town, bring your uniform and all that stuff. And we'll talk to you, buddy.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a quarterback.
Yes, he is a quarterback. And they got a couple of Texas guys right from our area. But yesterday's overtime, we had a 10-minute answer by Vivek Ramaswamy on race relations
so good.
in America. And then yesterday, a Washington Post reporter asked Vivek to denounce white supremacy.
God.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go. I mean, first of all, why? Are you going to ask Joe Biden to do that? What is the point of this? And it obviously pissed off Vivek. And listen to his response here. This is great stuff.
I'm not going to recite some catechism for you. I'm against vicious racial discrimination in this country. So I'm not pledging allegiance to your new religion of modern wokeism, which absolutely fits the test. I'm not going to bend the knee to your religion. I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to bend the knee to mine, and I'm not going to bend the knee to yours. But do I condemn vicious racial discrimination? Yes, I do. Am I going to play your silly game of gotcha? No, I'm not. And frankly, this is why people have lost trust. And I know you're going to go print the headline tomorrow. I already know this. We already know how your game works. Vivek Ramaswamy refuses to condemn white supremacy because you asked a stupid question. The reality is, I condemn vicious racial discrimination in this country, but the kind of vicious and systematic racial discrimination we see today is discrimination on the basis of race in a very different direction. You want to know what the best way is to end discrimination on the basis of race? Stop discriminating on the basis of race. Do that, and we're going to move this country forward. And I don't care whether you're black or white or brown or anything in between. That's how we're going to unite this country. You people have been responsible for dividing this country to a breaking point, creating a projection of national division. I meet people from the south side of Chicago to meetings like this one of every shade of melanin, multiple, from man to woman, doesn't make a difference, who are hungry for reviving unity in this country. And you, with your catechism that you try to get to politicians to whatever fake headline you're going to print on the basis of this conversation tomorrow, that's what's dividing this country to a breaking point. Shame on you. Look people in the eye and tell them what you've actually failed to tell them for the last 5 years. Own the accountability for your own failures as the media. That's how we rebuild trust in this country. And until then, I don't have a lot of patience to play the games.
What do you expect from him?
Nice!
Now you can sit down.
That was another beatdown. That was, wow.
He's so well-spoken, man.
He sure is. He's smart. He's smooth. And, it's too much for some people, but...
If you were counting, that was 0 ums and thus.
0, as always.
How does he do it?
As always.
I always count. That's my new game now.
I've never seen anything like it. No. I've never seen anything like it.
Actually.
Almost. Yeah, and mean, some people actually hold that against him. Like, he doesn't even say, I'm not going to vote for a guy who doesn't say, Okay, whatever. But I actually have heard that. By the way, did you see that Nikki Haley just passed Ron DeSantis for second place nationally? But in the poll, when you average all the polls, she apparently came out ahead in the, is it 538?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 538 website, she's supposedly ahead of Ron DeSantis now. Why do we do this every single time as Republicans? You can put 30 really solid, really good, really well-spoken conservatives out there in front of them, and they always go for the least conservative, the biggest warmonger, the big spender, the big government Republican. Every single time.
It's almost like the machine is working against us in the Republican Party.
Almost.
I guess Jeffy just sent us a clip. Is this just yesterday? I haven't seen this. Of Nikki Haley talking about immigration?
Okay, here she is.
But let's keep in mind, these people that are wanting to come here, they want to come for a better life too. They have kids too. They have a heart too. So we don't need to be disrespectful.
Okay.
We don't need to talk about them as criminals. They're not. They're families that want a better life, and they're desperate to get here.
You know, that's true in some cases. Yeah, there's families that want a better life. There are, I don't know, millions who don't fit that description. Do they want a better life? Yeah, I'm sure. Who doesn't? Everybody wants a better life. But many of them actually mean us harm, and we can't just allow them to pour across our border. And you know, when you don't have a problem with illegal immigrants flooding our border the way they are right now, you can't be the Republican nominee.
I'm not voting for whatever ticket she appears on in whatever capacity.
Nope. No thank you on Nikki Haley.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. Thanks for being with us, and Happy New Year. Today is the last day that you can say Happy New Year.
What's that? No, wait. What is it?
It's 4th? January 4th. I think 4 days of it, and then we're done. We move on. Remember, this is what started the March 3rd thing. I don't want to hear Happy New Year on March 3rd. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it came from.
Yeah. This is...
And what... Oh, okay. Whose performance is this?
There's a guy who posts songs with this thing all the time.
Okay. That's really good.
No,
it's a lot really like the open for Chewing the Fat with Jeffy, right?
I mean, it's so good.
It's on that scale. Anyway, just a brilliantly performed rendition.
Just
Thank
so you know,
for that.
March 3rd falls on a Sunday this year.
Good.
Pat heads on Twitter are already lamenting the fact that it falls on a weekend.
So what they'll do is call Friday or Monday anyway, and still.
And you'll love it.
And it'll be fun. Yeah. We've got an amazing video from a Las Vegas courtroom.
Yeah.
I guess this happened yesterday.
Yeah.
This
female judge has just sentenced a guy, ironically, for assault. Has just said that you're not getting... Is that what it is? Released right now?
She's basically trying to teach him a lesson.
Yeah. So...
Oh, boy.
He
didn't
appreciate that, but I think it's time.
He didn't take it well.
A taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
Oh, my gosh. Whoa. Wow. That's ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, this goes on.
They should get her out of there.
I mean,
Did she crawl out of there, I hope? Oh, he's getting pummeled now. Wow. Holy cow.
And he had to keep punching him because you saw the guy got up and was still swinging.
Wow.
Oh, he was dragging her. I didn't catch that. Oh, my gosh.
That's crazy.
Hey, where's Mary Kate?
Wow.
Yeah, he's doing court again today, by the way, for this charge.
Wow.
I wonder if it's the same judge.
So he just dove over the bench to get to the judge.
Yep.
And tried to start wailing on her. Instead, he got a beat down. Wow, that is something else.
Whoa, look at he got ups.
Oof.
He
Wow.
went Superman on her.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That's Las Vegas.
That's fun. Isn't that fun? Yeah, what a society we've got going on right now. It's, again, it just gets better every day.
Every
doesn't
day.
it? Every day. Also, the director of the next Star Wars movie, which is set to come out in 2026.
Yeah, May of 2026, I saw.
So we're still like 2 years away from it. Over 2 years away.
And they have 3 scheduled.
Oh, they do? Mm-hmm. So 2026... And then do we wait another 8 years?
Probably.
I think it's December of, let's see, May 22nd, 2026, December 18th, 2026, and December 17th, 2027.
Oh. Wow.
They're going to drag it out.
So they're going to do it in a year. Anyway, she had some things to say about Men yesterday, the new Star Wars movie director.
Oh, yeah. First, what's the first clip here, though,
The
Chris?
first, this is how she was introduced in the New Year's.
So clip 20 first. Okay.
Yep.
Also the first woman and the first person of color to direct a Star Wars film. It's set to be
how
released in
neat.
2026. You can say that the force is strong with this one. Here's Sharmina Bey-Chinoy.
You can say the force is strong with her. Okay.
You know, I'm very thrilled about the project because I think what we are about to create
Pause it for
is
a
something
sec.
very
Wait, she's a person of color? What color is she?
Well, she's from Pakistan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
brown.
Does she not look white? Is that bad to say? She looks...
Well, she has an accent, so that makes up for it.
Okay. All right. Let's see what she has to say.
You know, I'm very thrilled about the project because I think what we are about to create is something very special. And we're in 2024 now. And I think it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape the story in a galaxy far, far away.
Why? Why is it about time that we had a woman do this? Why?
What does it matter?
Does a woman have to do every single job that comes along?
Yes.
A woman has to be involved in every project at some point. I mean, why? If a woman is best suited for it, fine. Hire a woman to direct a Star Wars movie. I don't care what gender you are. I'm sorry, gender's a frame of mind or something, right? Did I get that?
You did, yes.
So I don't know what your frame of mind is, actually, or where you are this particular day, or what your preferred pronoun would be.
Thank you.
Glad you course corrected.
But yeah. Well, you have to.
You have to.
Right? You have to. If you want to see another paycheck, you have to. So, who cares?
Yeah.
Why do we have to play this game with every single thing? Well, this is the first woman and person of color to direct a Star Wars movie.
Who
cares? What kind of stat is that?
I'm certainly not thinking that when I'm watching a movie.
Jeez.
Tell me more about this director. Is this a female, a minority? Because it sure is. I feel empowered just sitting here watching it, and absorbing it. And by the way, when you watch this clip of her with Jon Stewart, just think of this. Disney, the company, just finding more and more ways to commit suicide right in front of us.
Okay.
This is nauseating.
What is the balance of activating a force for change, but also trying to permeate that patriarchy, that power structure? And is that a part of the calculation of your art?
So this is the job of Disney now, to permeate the patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in the business of making money with really entertaining films and really fun rides at an amusement park and really good food at the restaurant at the amusement park and really good sporting events on ESPN. No, we need to permeate the patriarchy. That's your goal now?
Yeah. On my YouTube channel, At the Mic with Keith, I've been interviewing a guy, Ed McRae, who is just a Disney guru. The history is fascinating. And he sent me a video that we're going to play when I talk with him this weekend. And it's Ronald Reagan, 1955, doing the TV stand-up for the introduction of Disneyland and the grand opening. And Walt gets out there and talks about God, and they have chaplains there, and they bless the park, and they pray, and now Disneyland here. Oh my gosh, 180 degrees from there.
Oh, can you imagine?
Oh, it's just heartbreaking to watch this company do what it does.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's see if we can get through this.
Of your art as well.
Wait, start from the beginning and let it soak in.
Yeah, the question.
What Jon Stewart is asking here.
I love the name of the show. Women in the World.
So asinine. Women in the world. Where else are they going to be? All right, let's hear it.
What is the balance of activating a force for change, but also trying to permeate
he knows
that
this is garbage.
patriarchy, that power structure? And is that a part of the calculation of your art
of course
as well? And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable. Not you, just not you. Not you.
Point taken. Point taken.
Unreal.
But it is important to.
Can you switch this around? Just like we do with race all the time. If this was a man saying, you know what, I really like to make women uncomfortable. I like to talk about men's issues and men's problems, and I like to make women uncomfortable with that. I really do. It's great to get into the matriarchy. I'm trying to permeate the matriarchy right now. What kind of asinine BS is this? Wow, have we gone astray in this? We're just so far off the rails.
Yep.
We're going off the rails on a crazy train. And I don't know that there's ever any getting back on the rails at this point. Got too many people. This is the dumbest exchange I think I've ever heard at a forum.
It's so bad.
All right, let's see if we can get through her answer.
To look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that. And recognize that I am working to bring something that makes you uncomfortable, and it should make you uncomfortable because you need to change your attitude. And it's only when you're uncomfortable, when you're shifty, when you have to have difficult conversations that you will perhaps look at yourself in the mirror and not like the reflection. And then say, maybe there is something wrong with the way I think, or maybe there is something wrong with the way I am
Maybe there's something wrong with the way you think, Pumpkin. Maybe you should take a look in the mirror and see if there's any changes you can make. I think I'll leave it at that because I had more, but I'm going to...
Oh.
Happy wait, that's
Stop
it?
there. Yeah, well, on the mirror thing, I was
Oh.
gonna, yeah.
Oh yeah, because we don't fat shame in here. You're right. We don't fat shame.
We don't. I don't even know why you brought that up at this particular juncture, but you're right about
non sequitur.
We don't fat shame. What garbage!
Let me eat.
Absolute garbage.
Oh my
so you
gosh.
got that nonsense.
Oh my god!
And then do you remember the gay producer or whatever for Disney, where she's working hard on her not so subtle gay agenda?
I'm looking at her.
Man,
I'm looking at her. Her what she's directed in the past. I would like to know what reinventing the Taliban ? Is about.
Okay, yeah, I would
from
too.
2003.
Interesting.
Let's see. Assimilation, no integration.
How did she wind up on a Star Wars project?
I think we're finding out as
well,
I
she's
scroll through
brown.
here.
Well, yeah,
she's a
and
woman.
Oh, here we go. We got climate change stuff.
Oh,
in
good.
Here. That's good.
So she checks out the DEI boxes.
Here's what she did. I don't know what this is. Like a cartoon or something. A Pakistan 3D computer animated family film.
I bet that was fun.
Bahadur, The Revenge of Baba Balam. That looks good. Satara.
Oh, yeah. I saw that 3 times.
Lit Girl's Dream.
3 times?
Then
Yeah.
she,
Satara.
here we go. So she made the leap. So she directed 4 animated flicks, and then she was handed the reins for Miss Marvel.
Oh, which was an absolute disaster
and
flop.
Star Wars is about to be with her.
Oh, for sure.
If your goal... I literally just read her fiction portfolio there.
And she's told us what she's setting out to do. She's got an agenda to permeate the patriarchy.
This is going to be fun.
Not to entertain the masses and make money for Disney and create something that people enjoy. That's not her thing.
And people will go and see this.
Here's the woman I was talking about that was talking about the gay agenda at Disney.
And I'd heard, you hear whispers. Like I'd heard things like, oh, they won't let you show this at a Disney show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little like sus when I started. But then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard on my little pocket of
that is
Proud
baffling.
Family Disney TVA.
That is baffling.
The showrunners were super welcoming. Meredith Roberts and our leadership over there has been so welcoming to
the
my
gay
not at all secret gay agenda. And so
her not at all secret gay agenda. Isn't that great? So we got the patriarchy under assault right now, and then you've got the not so secret gay agenda at Disney. So they're doing really well. This is what Walt. I remember when he started the company and he got on television every Sunday night. And he told us about his not-so-secret gay agenda. Remember that? And the patriarchy stuff that he used to jam down our throats? Walt would be proud, wouldn't he? Oh, my gosh. What a disaster. All right. This past December, drug shortages hit a record high, and this is causing severe disruptions in medical treatments. There's delays, there's treatment cancellations, and, unfortunately, rationing of vital medications right now. Even drugs as important as the antibiotic amoxicillin are in short supply right now. So this is not something you have to imagine. There's 294 different drugs that are difficult to get a hold of right now.
It's the new normal.
Yeah. So you might be forced to make some really tough choices, including choosing which patients will be prioritized to receive potentially curative therapy. This is why you need the Jace case. It's a personalized emergency kit that contains 5 essential antibiotics that treat the most common and deadly bacterial infections. And Jace is continually working to expand their medication offerings. They've also added ivermectin right now, which, wow. Mm-hmm. Get your hands on that just in case.
Keep it around.
And just keep it close by. And I noticed the Jace case is no longer close by. Somebody got their hands on it.
Oh, no.
And took it with them on a trip they went on.
Because it belonged to me, I'll make sure to bring it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
really?
I
That did belong to you?
It has
you
my
paid
name.
for it.
I paid for it.
You did not.
Because it belonged to him.
He did not.
It has my name on it. So I
you
paid
probably
for
wrote your name on it.
Yes, I bought me the little scanner from the pharmacy and put my name. Yes, you're right.
I knew it. I knew. I'm on to you, Chris. Yeah. I'm on to you.
Was it in English or Spanish?
Both.
Okay. So go to jacemedical.com today. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout, and you'll get a nice discount on your order. That's promo code PAT at JASE Medical, jacemedical.com.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know what to think of Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City. Some days you think, yeah, he gets it.
He
now.
understands now.
He understands what we're up against. He's gotten a taste of it. He doesn't like it. Right. He wants it fixed. And he's outspoken about it. He's going to go see the president of the United States about it and say, hey, do something with the immigration situation, will you please? And then he'll do this. Eric Adams, cut 23.
Have you been outsmarted by the Texas governor, Greg Abbott?
No, anyone who has a diabolical mind would do diabolical things to just treat people in an inhumane way. We handle over 164,000 migrants and asylum seekers, and we're doing it in a humane way. We're very clear that we're going to continue to adjust as the governor of Texas carry out these actions to make sure that we send a very clear, loud message. No bus company participate, should be participating in this action. And we're going to communicate with our partners in this region and make sure that we tell them they should file the same level of executive order to stop this from taking place.
He continually cries about the 150 or 60,000 or so
what was the number
illegals
he just said?
he has to deal with. He said 164,000.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
I thought it was less. Okay.
Let's say it is 164,000 in a town of 20 million in the metropolitan area.
Figure it out, Eric.
Figure it out. We deal with literally millions of people. We have to deal in Texas with millions of illegal aliens.
A year.
Per year. Right.
Year.
And a lot of times they stay right here as well. And so they accumulate. There's between 5 and 10, 15, who knows how many millions of illegal aliens. They don't count it because they don't want you to know. Because it would cause a little bit of an uproar, I think, if people really understood how many are here.
Yeah, and the thing he's talking about registering here, I forget what it is, like 72 hours. Bus companies have to tell New York City what they're bringing in. Let's see here. I don't know what the hour limit is, but that's what he's saying, that, hey, all you mayors should do an executive order like me and make that the case for your towns as well. Hint, hint, or New York.
Man, oh man.
So anyway, you got to let the city know in advance now. I don't know what that's going to do here. And by the way, let's see. Yeah, 161,000 migrants have entered New York City since the crisis began, and 68,000 remain in the city's care. So he's not even having to deal with all of these 161, 64.
Did you say 68,000?
68,000.
68,000.
Figure it out, Eric.
Yeah. Big deal. Big deal. Come down here and see how hard it is to deal with millions. Man.
Diabolical minds gonna do diabolical things.
It was, how many times have we said it? It was genius what he did.
Yeah.
Diabolical. It was brilliant. Then we got Nancy Pelosi to tell us how Americans should be grateful for this particular president.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Let's just take it to the kitchen table about people's health, financial well-being, their freedom to live their lives, and again, the opportunity that Joe Biden has given them.
What?
Wait, what?
None of that applies to Joe Biden. Listen to this again. Play it one more time. It's only 10 seconds.
Let's just take it to the kitchen table about people's health, financial well-being, their freedom to live their lives, and again, the opportunity that Joe Biden has given them.
The opportunity that Joe Biden has given them.
I'd like to have her cite some examples of what he's done for our health.
Jack crap.
And the other topics that she mentioned.
Your health.
And why are we taking it to the kitchen table and then we are not even dealing with the food there because we can't afford it anymore because of Bidenomics? You notice she didn't mention food on the kitchen table because you got to take out a loan. You got to take out a second mortgage just to go grocery shopping now.
You know who's not struggling?
People need to go.
With what's on their kitchen table is all those that benefited up in Washington, D.C. from Sam Bankman-Fried, but that's all behind us now. We're good.
Yeah.
We're not going to revisit that. He got off scot-free.
We're not going to charge him with anything.
Just insidious, the machine up there. What's going on with all the swatting? Chris, have you followed this?
Really dangerous.
Yeah, I did in MTG or whatever it says. He got swatted for the 10th time.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
10 times.
Yeah, either 10th or 8th time. She literally keeps getting swatted, and she says
people are trying to get her killed.
Yes,
but she's so grateful that the local department is handling
it. Yeah,
but at the same time being serious about because this one could be a real one.
And who was it that just happened to somebody?
Okay, well, it's happened to Senator Rick Scott.
It
happens all the time with Tim Pool.
Yep.
And that's, by the way, that's where Vivek's going to be next week doing his town hall online with Tim Pool.
You think we should retract our ban on Vivek?
Can we?
Let's revisit that.
Can we revisit that?
Revisit it.
Yeah, we'll do.
We've got a couple of conservative
We'll do a meeting.
Conservative pundits that have been swatted. We've got the Maine Secretary of State after she took Trump off the ballot there. We've got George Soros. I mean, somebody's going
to get killed.
To get killed. Absolutely.
Yeah,
speaking of Soros, did you see that he funneled more than $50 million to an Iran sympathizer groups that were linked to Robert Malley? So basically,
I didn't see that.
It would appear in a roundabout way that money from, well, not only Joe Biden funding attacks on U.S. troops in the region,
right,
but now George Soros has October 7th funded, obviously, Hamas by Iran, the Houthis by Iran. So
we're going to be at war with the Houthis here pretty soon. If they don't stop, attacking shipping and attacking our troops, and
so we're going to
somebody's going to pay a heavy price for that.
The who?
The what?
The who?
The where?
Wait, what? The who?
The where thieves? The Houthis?
The who? These? I don't know. Stupid. Some things are.
What a surprise on this show that something would be
don't put the camera on me.
stupid. That's hard to believe. All right, we got overtime coming up. Then we'll finish off the week with you. Tomorrow, Jeffy will join us. See you then.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.